Hello everybody and welcome to another review. Today I am looking at the Papo Brachiosaurus. Now, it is very big, so it kind of the neck really does go up out of the camera shot, but I will show the head in the middle of the review, of course, as that is a very important part of the sculpt, of course. But I just wanted to say that it immediately strikes me that this model is so muscular. I mean, you can just see the ripples of these muscles and everything. Um, but yeah, it's a really nice looking, really nice sized figure actually from Papo. Now, I didn't buy this from Everything Dinosaur like I usually do for my models, but what I did do is I went to Amazon and I bought it for $27.99, Great British pounds. Not entirely sure how much that is in dollars, but yeah, it's $27.99 in the UK on Amazon. I think it's a similar price on Everything Dinosaur, although I'm not entirely sure if they have it in stock. But they definitely sell it on Amazon. Um, I did buy it a long time ago. I think it was last year. So I'm not entirely sure if they still have their Papo Brachiosaurus in stock, but I thought that continuing on the Jurassic Park trend that with the Nanmu Spinosaurus and the Nanmu Wanted Future King T-Rex, that I would go on to review another kind of model that's inspired by the Jurassic Park films. And yes, even though the paint scheme isn't recognizable as a Jurassic Park color scheme, it's this the overall sculpt was inspired by the Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus. So let's get into the model. Not necessarily scientifically accurate, although I don't know much about Brachiosaurus in terms of scientific accuracy. But let's just get into the model and see what amazing detail this has. So starting on the head, if we zoom in, so the head is actually really weird. I always make fun of this to my friends because it's such a weird looking face. It's so kind of happy looking. But it has its mouth open and the teeth are nicely sculpted. Well, I don't know. They look nicely painted individually. You could see that there's also some painting of the inside of the mouth, so the tongue, you can barely see it though. It's really hard to get lighting in there. The mouth is not really opened very widely, but yeah, that's the mouth for you. You can't really see much inside it, to be honest with you. But the face sports some really nice scale detail, especially um, above the eye here and going around, forming a nice kind of circular um, shape there around the eye. Some nice scales there, and of course you've got the classic Brachiosaurus crest here. Really nice. You got some kind of nice skin creases coming along here, especially on the lower jaw there, as you can see. The neck has a ton, and I mean a ton of creases, just going all the way down the neck. You could see that, and has a really thick base, really thick and strong muscular base there, as you could see. We'll get down to the body sculpt in a minute, but yeah, really nice detailed head. Got some really nice variation in the scales there. So we've got some small ones here, and then going down more towards the lower jaw, you can see that there's some the shadow of my finger doesn't cover it. The larger scales down here on the cheekbone. So if we just take a look at the other side, you can see that it's pretty much the same story. The face has got some really nice detail, and then neck has a bit more muscle stretching here, but that's because the Brachiosaurus is facing slightly to the right in its sculpt. So you can see all that musculature down there going down. It's stretching nice, and well, I don't know what it would be, but it's Definitely stretching there, as you can see. It's very defined along the neck. Really nice sculpt for the neck. Now, coming down to the body sculpt. Now, it's got some really good creases and kind of almost, I don't know what they are. I don't know if it's creases in skin or if it's claw marks, but you can see that all along the figure they've got these all these little marks. I'm not sure what they are, but some of them have got to be some kind of claw marks from a theropod predator. Of course, you got some skin wrinkles here going down the leg there, and you got some skin, kind of a big muscular, very. You could really see the muscles on this figure stand out, and that's one of the things that I immediately noticed about this figure when I pulled it out the package. It's got some really nicely defined muscles on the body, and as we go down the legs, you can see that even further, and some really nice creasing and muscular definition as well down here. Really, really good paint application on the toes as well, as you can see. Really nice stuff going on there. The underside is just as nicely detailed as well. We've got all those creases and cracks, and of course, if I don't knock the camera over with the feet, you could see that it says Papo 2012, I believe, made in China. So yeah, and again on the other side, you got some really nice skin scale detail. Well, no, skin detail, let's say, because they're not really, you don't really see many scales on the body apart from a couple of osteoderms on the legs here. You could see that there, and it's got almost a kind of a ridged, almost spiky kind of back. You could see it's more of a ridge, to be honest, a spinal ridge going all the way down to the tip of the tail there. The tail isn't very big at all, but that's okay because it's a Brachiosaurus. It's not something like a Barosaurus or a Diplodocus, so that's okay. Brachiosaurus is known for its upright stance. As we come down to the tail, you can see that we have some really, really nicely defined creases, which line really seem to line really nicely up with that spinal line going all the way down the body. Really nice creases with the skin there, especially on the back of the leg here as well. The camera doesn't focus on my hand. Yeah, and then on the underside we've got some really nice musculature of the tail. Even though it's a small tail, it still looks quite powerful on this figure. Turning the figure around, you can see still retains that really nice creasing, and then you've got that musculature of the tail well defined as well. It has got a massive cloaca, as you can see right there. Now let's do the size comparisons for this figure. Now, if I can just give a best shot as I can of this figure, that goes to me there. Did not mean to do that, but as you can see, I'm going to just get some other figures for size comparisons. So here we have the Bullyland Triceratops. Here is the Schleich Giganotosaurus, or Giganotosaurus, however you want to pronounce it. Really bulky figure, this one, so it's not necessarily dwarfed in its chunkiness by the Brachiosaurus. And then let's compare it to PNSO's Irma the Mamenchisaurus, or Mamenchisaurus. The Mamenchisaurus is definitely longer than the Brachiosaurus, as you can see, but definitely not as tall. So that wraps up the review, but quite a short one actually. this figure is really nice. I like it a lot. It's definitely catering to that Jurassic Park aesthetic, but it's nicely detailed. It's got really good muscular detail. The paint scheme, I didn't talk about that too much, but it's got some really nice kind of darker shading along the body here. Some really nice darker shading on the top there. Really faint dark shading, but most of it is just that kind of pale green, and on the bottom you've got that beige as well, that counter shading. So that is quite a simple paint scheme, but it's still really nice, a really nicely painted and detailed figure. So thank you, Pepper, very much for this amazing figure. Even though it came out way back in 2012, I only got it in 2021. So I'm late to the party on this one for sure, and especially in doing this review 10 years later from when the figure released. But I'm very happy with this model. I've had it for a while. It's my crown Brachiosaurus of my collection until I eventually get the Nanmu Watchman Brachiosaurus. But I have other priorities at the moment for where I'm spending my money. So we'll see what happens with that one. And thank you very much for watching this review. It was a little weird in that you got to see my face, but it's okay because there wasn't too much of it shown. Maybe I do a little face reveal one day, but we'll see. I don't think I can be so arrogant as to postulate that that would be a that is warranted on a channel as small as mine, but it's fine because I just enjoy doing my dinosaur reviews. I like to contribute. I love dinosaurs a lot, and I hope that you have an amazing day.